Hi, everybody. So today, well, I've been meditating with this one, but I've been kind of playing in the snow today. It's been amazing. So welcome. Welcome to my live. And today we're just doing a live stream with me, yours truly, and we're going to do a live creation. Today I'm sitting at my dining room table because there's a lot more surface area, which allows me to kind of like have my stuff organized in a way I can kind of see everything. Um, but it's just I'm working on getting more space. I need a workshop. Make my life a lot easier. So I'm attracting that into me, so it's going to be fun. But been meditating with my golden lepidolite. Been using this a lot for healing. um, this stone, it gets warm when I'm meditating with it. Like, it gets warm and then it like holds on to that warmth. Especially when I'm doing a lot of my shadow work, a lot of my healing, a lot of my, just inner work on myself. It's absolutely amazing. So maybe one of these days I'll make a wire wrapped pendant with like some grounding stones and energizing stones. So like while it's like sitting there, it can like be charging. So like get some selenite in it. Anyway, just kind of I want to make a little stand for it so it doesn't roll off my table. Because it's funny because what I use right now are my little tea kettles and it holds it just perfectly. So it's like, it works for now, but I don't want it to mar this. So I want to like make something that's really soft, like copper soft, because it's malleable. The hardness is on copper is softer than the hardness on this. So a copper stand won't agitate this while I'm holding it, or have it just like prop somewhere. Anyway, but it works for now. Maybe that's what I'll do this weekend for myself. Just kind of make a little like stand so it doesn't roll off my tables. But anyway, today we're gonna wrap this one. So I'm gonna show you my camera here. But this is such a cool cutaway of an amethyst. And so what this is it's an amethyst formation that was like stalactited, and then it's cut. So like a geode. So it's like an inverted geode, if that makes any sense. But look at the it almost looks like moss agate on the inside, but the sparkle in this. So we're gonna meditate real quick with this one. I want to kind of get the flow pattern of its energy. So in my live, feel free to jump in and join in with me. I'll just kind of guide you through it. But what I do is I just get some really deep cleansing breaths. I get my body filled with it. I get my belly moving in and out, my Buddha belly. Make sure that my spine is like straight, my shoulders rolled back, I'm sitting upright. Make sure that my spine and my head's here. And what I do in this process when I create, I want to walk you through it in this live, because normally I'll do this beforehand, so I'm just like I'm good to go. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, because I'm going to be meditating with this. When I meditate with my crystals, I see the sacred geometric frequency of it, its patterns, and it's really beautiful to watch. So, what we're going to do today is that we're going to kind of cleanse our energy. We're going to discharge all of our negative energy, and we're going to ground ourselves really, really good. So, today, let's go ahead and envision a disc around our body. This silver disc that's underneath us, like an avatar in a video game. It's got its little marker that moves around like in a football video game. Okay, imagine just this plate of silver underneath you. Take some cleansing breaths and focus on creating that plate. Now, my breathing exercise is we're going to breathe in through our nose for 5 seconds, real slow. We'll hold for 5 seconds, and we'll exhale through our mouth slowly for 5 seconds. And we'll do this 5 times. Each inhale that you draw in, Imagine all this fresh energy of everything around you. Draw it into your body. Pull in all the etheric energy of your surrounding home, where you're at right now, and hold it in and give thanks to what is around you right now. As you exhale slowly, imagine your roots growing around the silver plate that you're grounding yourself to. Grow those roots deep into the earth and connect with Gaia's energy. Deep breath in. Another long, deep breath in. Fill your belly, push your belly completely out. Get every bit of air that you can pull in. And as you exhale, imagine those roots growing thicker and deeper into the earth, wrapped around your silver plate. Take a minute to give thanks for you being alive right here, right now. One more breath, and we'll hold it for 10 seconds. You should be able to start feeling your third eye awaken. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so while we go through the life, we're just going to stay grounded. We're going to stay just connected to Earth. Wherever you go, just imagine that silver plate is your avatar marker moving with you, and it keeps you grounded wherever you go. So if you're driving, if you're walking, that's why I love doing these plates underneath you, because it's like an avatar in a video game. Imagine that you're grounded through that your energetic connection is wrapped around it, and as you go about your day, it follows you, keeps you grounded. So this is a little practice I've been working on, but it's all about the visual in your mind. What are you doing subconsciously? Create that in a meditation. I love this one. So I'm feeling a tree. This one's gonna get a tree, and I'm not quite. I think we're gonna do it on this side here, and the tree is gonna go around this and over. But I'm going to leave it open because I want all those crystal points to catch the light. So it's going to be an interesting one. This will be a simple tree. It's not going to be okay, I lied. It's going to be an elaborate one. Let's just be real here, but it's going to be simple for me. But we're going to do a silver tree today. I'm really feeling the cooling moon energies of this piece. This one is very calming. The geometric shape of it, it's like a lotus flower, but there are these two leaves right here. They're going out to the side. So it's like they're like this petal lotus leaf coming out. And then there's the flower. It's like a lotus flower that's very similar to the shape of the crystalline, but it's flowing and blooming. It's just amazing. Very purple. And there's some pink in here too. And lots of gold light in this one. But this one, because of the aura that's here, I can feel some grounding properties. So this is pretty balanced for this, your third eye, your crown, your connection to source, but your overall like body health. This one's like I can feel like a boost of energy in it. Anyway, this is super cool. But I do all of this before my lives, so I don't seem like a little weirdo. But I'm like, you know what? Today I'm going to show how I kind of get my inspiration. No color cards today. I saw this sitting on the table, and I'm like, this has been eyeballing me, literally eyeballing me. Looks like an eyeball, but I'm feeling a tree in this one. So let's get to work. Today I am. I got my tea here. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe and hit that like, and you can leave comments in here. I'd love to chat with you, share my insights and my wisdom. But today, I picked up some anti-inflammatory herbal tea mix. It's got a variety of things in it, and I also mix it with my men's health one that I've been using for my overall health as well. So today is just honey tea with a little lemon and some herbs. And this stuff's really good. The little herbologist down at that enchantment store does these really amazing herbal blends that I find are very helpful. And it's nice to just have a nice warm drink that's not coffee that dehydrates you. But I haven't even had coffee today. Like I said, some days I just want tea. Today, oh, I need to take my Shilajit. I gotta be right back. I forgot. Okay. So, Himalayan Shilajit. So I picked up, and basically, it's not. I like the taste of it. Kind of reminds me of molasses, but I take off about this much here. It's really goopy, if you can see that. It's really stringy. Anyway, they say to dissolve it. Some people are weird about their flavors of things, but I don't know. I like molasses and black licorice and dark beer and black coffee. So flavors like this, these bold, robust ones, no good. So good. Hmm. Yeah, it's like getting a little bit of black licorice is what it tastes like. Not sure why my camera is mirror or inverting it. I'd like it to just mirror me. The Shilajit's got like 85 trace minerals. This is great for your body, those salts and vital nutrients that your body needs. And I'm finding your food industry sucks. So I'm trying to get my nutrients back to get my health in order and get my body on track and look the way that I feel on the inside. Like that's the key here. So I say I got somebody here, but today we're working on amethyst and I'm getting ready to make a tree. So thank you for joining me today. So I like to work in 3, 6, and 9s. Yeah, that's probably good. So we're going to cut out 12 strands of silver thread here to make my tree for this. When I make this, the 12 threads will be folded in half, and that'll give me 24 branches for my tree. So that's kind of what I like to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Seven, 12. Okay. Okay. So I got all my wires now. I got 12 of them. I like to use these because I don't want to damage any of my wires, but we're going to basically get our tree started. So get our roots here, our trunk. Okay. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself here. It's totally fine. Like Bob Ross. We only make happy accidents. I gotta fold it in half. Forgot. Getting ahead of myself. Okay. Take all this. Fold it in half. Perfect. Okay. So now we got those. Now I need my base wire. I like using my 18 gauge square for my base wire. Just gives it something nice and solid to hold on to. And it also allows me to frame it in some way. This one will be a little more simple. Cost of silver, though. Man, I'm getting low on some of my silver supplies, and the price of what it is now from when I last invested is just wild. I can't believe it. But in Texas, you can actually buy things with silver and gold. Like it's deemed as legit currency. Straighten this out. Like so. Okay. Pretty straight, yeah. Not bad for doing it by hand. Alrighty. Oh, perfect. I got a little cutie here. It's about the size I need. So now I can kind of model it a little bit. Cool. Sweet. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to shape this to my piece here. So it's nice to have a little model to get the bends going the way I want them to. Yeah, so we're gonna bring this over here. So I find when I apply a little bit of friction and heat, helps make this a little more malleable, easy to bend and work with, especially when you're working with rounds, because you don't want like any creases, because once they're in there, they're in there. Especially with the square wire that I'm working with. Yeah, you want to be mindful of where you put your creases, because they ain't coming out. Okay, perfect. Just a little more in, a little more down. Okay. So as you can see, it will sit like that, kind of around it. But again, we're doing the one with the node here. So that's my front side, so make sure it's good. No, I'm actually liking that. We're gonna do the node on the back side. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I kind of center that. And then I'm just gonna take our wire. Well, again, once you make the bends, that's how your bends are gonna be. So, and again, because we already made it this way here. So we're gonna take that. Perfect. Straighten that out a little bit. Perfect. Okay. You see that there? I'm gonna sit over our piece like so. Now, I'm gonna do a little pattern on here with the squares. So we're gonna grab my thread. Grab my thread again. Actually, you know what? Let's use the half round today. I don't feel like weaving. Where is my half round? There you are. Perfect. So I'm working with half round because I don't have like a spool to hang this on. I just cut out a strand to work with. Okay, that one's a little buggered up, so we gotta fix it. Okay, straighten that. And then bend it here. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Perfect. Okay. So I'm working with a strand like this. This is my half round. This is my frame. I'm going to grab it where I can hold it. And I just take my long tail here and I'll just start weaving it nice and tight. Okay. And I try to keep my pattern and my count to threes, but sometimes you just lose count. So anyway, so I'm going to work this tail here, get about where I want it, tighten this one. And it's a blizzard today. I absolutely love it. Okay. So now we're going to slide it once we get that tail on, slide it down to where we want it. Okay. And then I kind of just keep a little pressure, but because we're working with a frame here, this should allow me to just twist and turn like this. Makes it easy. And this is going to attach to your bale. It's also the frame that's going to hold your crystal on there. So occasionally you may get some gaps in there. So as you get gaps, I work a few lines and then I'll come and grab my little pliers here and gently just slide it down to press them close together. You want to keep it tight like a tiger. Tight like a tiger. Okay. Hey, what's up, Moonwalker? Glad you made it here. Oh man, I'm so glad you're doing okay, man. That's tragic. Yeah, it's been really hard for a lot of people lately. I'm glad you're doing okay and glad you're alive. I'm going to send you my blessing right now, just so I can send you a healing bubble to help you overcome, at least just alleviate the pain while you recover. Ah, she's calling to me. So you're going to get some energy from Zelda. All right, so I send energetic bubbles into the astral. They work their way to you when you're ready to receive them. Just allow them to come in. That's pretty cool. I love you, man. Dude, I'm glad you're doing so good. I'm glad you asked me about it because I was contemplating doing one this week and I was just like, you know what? I got to do it because I actually kind of enjoy it. So here we are. We are doing it. If you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat, I mean, how did you break your leg? Did you fall? Did you have to wrestle a wildebeest? Like, what'd you do, man? Defending somebody? Were you doing crazy parkour videos? I mean, I don't know. All right. So I think that's about, yeah, I'm not going to do very well. Maybe I should do it tall. Yeah. Okay. I should do some more. I think what I'm going to start doing are a live stream every Monday, I think is what's going to work best for me. And I'll just go through and just do a creation or two, give myself, a few hours on the as a live to kind of engage in that. Still yapping. Well, I got a blizzard today, so that's kind of the contrast to what you're going through. Eating soup. Oh, I love soup, Tracy. I'm actually probably going to do soup today. I'm doing a little chowder. I've been getting a whole bunch of vegetables because they've been like super affordable. I think because the holidays are over, they're like, oh, we got to get rid of surplus. So I'm like buying it up and just making bulk stuff, but doing a lot of meal prep. But I think I'm going to do a soup, a chowder, because it's a blizzard. Why not? I'll treat myself to 1 cup of coffee for my dinner. I love coffee so much. That's one of those things I don't want to let go, but I have to compromise. Tracy, I'm glad to make it out here with you too. I absolutely love polar bears, by the way. The fiercest of all bears, but one of the strongest too. They're like the lone wolves. A lot of wisdom can be attained from understanding how polar bear lives. They have to live in the now, always be present, because they don't know when they're going to eat next. They don't know if they're going to make it. They don't know if they're going to get stuck on ice. They don't know nothing. They have to be so present and fierce, set their boundaries, protect their young, bring balance. Okay, so I got all my coils wrapped up here. So we're going to crimp them all down so they don't move on me. Kind of makes them go a little bit flat, which is super nice. So we're making today, Tracy, since you just jumped on. I'm feeling like working with some amethyst. So we're gonna do a tree today in my demonstration. We're gonna do a wire wrap tree, and I'll just kind of show you how I do it. It's kind of easy. Saves you some wire. So when I started the video, I got a bunch of wire thread. I cut out 12 strands and I bend them in half. Okay, like this. And then we're gonna attach the half to our frame. And what this does when we fold them in half like this is this allows us to have 24 branches on our tree, and we're not wasting so much silver as we're trimming it. Because this one, we trim a lot on the trees, and again, I like utilizing all my product because it keeps going up, so I want to make sure I'm maximizing. But I also save all my scrap. Just understand I'm saving it because it is valuable. So I just save it. I'll probably smelt it down, and so I'll link them on. I'll do a few twists in there. We're gonna do 6 twists on all of these. Okay, we're gonna pull it tight, and then we're just gonna work each piece until we get all 12 attached to the frame. Oh, cool. Yeah, trees are very time consuming and tedious. A lot of wires you're working with, but they're so beautiful when they're done. Energetically, they're amazing. Like when you're working with pendants and such, the trees, just the way that they flow energetically, they channel energy, which is just I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a torus. A tree is like the middle of a torus, the trunk of a tree. They're like pillars of light. And so you can harness that energy by twisting all these wires into the crystals with your intentions. Today is just about being present, being myself, being me, and just doing what I love doing, and that's creating, making beautiful things. Well, you have a good night, Moonwalker. Yeah, I just made a video about attracting abundance. So check it out. It's the one where the snow is here, but I leave a message about abundance in there. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming and saying hi, man. And try to get some sleep, man. I'm sorry to hear about your broken leg. It's tragic. But you'll receive that bubble tonight when you go to sleep. The astral's kind of where I work with my energy stuff. Okay. Today I'm doing herbal tea. It's got an anti-inflammatory mix in there with my Men's Health one, and it's been doing wonders for alleviating my morning crankiness in my back. Always feels like I need to go and get the WD-40 out and lube my spine a little bit so I can twist and move. Working through, I realize that there's a lot of emotional attachment to that pain, but it's also synonymous to the damage I did to myself working for Sputnik. Just a hard physical job that I shouldn't have kept doing. Kept me tough though, kept my hands strong, kept my muscle, my endurance set to work well. So I like that my hands can do what I got to do now without having to try to do my job on top of that. So it's a good thing to leave for my own physical health. Okay. The gauge that I'm using for the tree is 26 gauge. It's just my threading wire. It's easiest to work with when you're working with the trees. When you increase in gauge size, your tree gets much bigger. And where when I'm doing it with pendants, I don't like them to stick off really like profoundly. So I like to use the smaller gauge to keep them kind of tucked close to the pendant. But I have done some with 24 gauge. I've done some with 22 gauge, and personally, for most of what I work with, I like working with 26 gauge for the trees. When I do my my window charms, the wire wrapped window charms, the 3D ones, I'll be investing into a whole bunch of 22 gauge wire for those. Because I find the 22 gauge wire works for most beads, and it's pretty stiff. And so with a window charm, you want it to kind of hold its weight. So you need something stiff. So when I do my window charms, I'll probably be doing 22 gauge copper for those ones. The frame, I'm using 18 gauge square. I just like the way the square looks, so I have tons of it. I'm just trying to use it up. But I realized that the creations most people actually like a lot of times the smooth, round. But I didn't realize how much I was buying when I bought because it was my first order. And because I like using square to accent the round, but I use round in everything. And I should have bought way more round than I did square. So now I'm stuck with tons of square, which is fine. It's given me lots of ways and getting clever on how to use and get texture from square wire. So it's kind of cool learning how to use those textures. Okay. Tracy, I think I'm going to put your portrait right here. So when I do my dining room videos, you're going to just start seeing your portrait more. Because, I mean, I put it to where I can see it, but when I'm on the camera a lot, I'm still seeing it. So it's like, I kind of like it in that spot better because it doesn't have so much of a glare on the glass. I put glass on it because I wanted to give it that angelic, but also to seal in the intention that I put in there with the crystals that are on it. So that portrait, I have a bunch of amethyst and quartz on there for what it's trying to attract. Because I see that as a premonition of the world I want to see. And so the intentions are like, that's the marker, that's the vision, that's the state of being and consciousness I want to achieve in that world as well. So I love that portrait. Just, it's so synonymous to what I was experiencing when you painted it. But yeah, when I get an actual studio, it'll be visible, I assure you, because it really is. It's my favorite portrait. The colors in it are just perfect. He even tapped into the 3-strand and the 4-strand DNAs, which is crazy because I've been learning about it a lot lately. All right, so we got all of our wires. I think I got all my wires. My silver blends into my table because it's like quartz, so it's like kind of shiny. So sometimes I can't see my wires. Okay. So, like a tree, we need to get our roots strong. So, these are your roots. This is how it starts. We're going to start our roots. We're going to start at the base where the tree is going to grow from, right? The ground. I'm going to use this analogy of how a tree grows to how I build my tree because it makes sense energetically why the trees are so cool. So, what we're going to do here, this is going to be interesting because The way that I'm framing it, I want to keep the little druzy bits exposed so they can catch the sun and discharge their energy. So I want to keep them open, but the wires are going to feed in between the nodules. So I got to be careful how I do this. But this part here where it's more white and there's more calcite here, this is where the tree is going to come up and around to kind of frame in this. God, I hate the way my camera works. I need to invert it because it's like inverting instead of mirroring. It's as if you were like, I don't know. It's weird. But there's kind of like, I don't know, a little world trapped inside of this one. It's super cool. So we're going to wrap a tree to go around that. Okay. So some people like to tape their frame to it, like use little painter's tape. I don't have any freaking tape, so I'm going to show you how I do it without tape. But you also want to be minded it's there. It's a process. But apparently, my daughter was using a bunch of it to do a painting project, and I didn't realize that she like used the whole scroll of it. So anyway, good heads up would have allowed me to get some more tape for before that project happened. Okay. So we're going to start with our one roots here. So you can see, so you're going to kind of see that I'm going to do my roots along like a ground. It's going to come up and kind of be like a sidescape. So all the branches are going to come up and curl around the eye here. So it's like a bending tree in a way. Okay. I gotta get some tape. I gotta find something. I'll be right back. Oh, okay. That's why she used my packing tape. That's because her tape is missing the little tear thing. Okay. No, that's fine. We got tape. This little tooth thing holds it up. Okay. I don't like using this tape because it leaves a residue. Makes it a pain to clean, but for what we're doing today, that's what we're doing. So that's going to hold it still for us, at least so we can get our wires kind of positioned and cinched down. Okay. Go over there. Again, I'm going to work in threes. So I'm going to show you. You can kind of, it's so annoying, my camera. You see how they're going around the little points there to hold it in. So I'm going to get 3 strands together and we're going to twist them to go into the tree. So we're going to twist those 1, 2, 3. Okay. That'll hold them together for me, as you can see. Okay. We'll move those out of the way. We're going to get my next 3 here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 3 is right here. Okay. Okay. 3 there. Now we're going to do these next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the last ones, again, we're just trying to bite on to all of these little drusies here. Oh, I must have miscounted. There's only 2 on my end. So I must have got 4 in one of those. Okay. And we're just going to twist. I always twist in the same direction because I'm working with my power hand. So this is the energy going out in my Reiki. I'm working in this spiral motion, which when it's received, it's inverted. So it's for the healing. Just throwing that out there. Okay. So now I've got all of them twisted, put together, and now we need to get it to bend around this eyelet here. Yeah, when I saw this, and let me tell you, I don't pay top dollar for a lot of things. This one I paid top dollar for, but I could not. I went back to the store 3 times and was just like telling myself, no, I can't. I shouldn't get it. I shouldn't get it. And I'm just like, fine, I'm gonna get it. But yeah, this was almost $60. This little piece here, because when you get the stalactite of amethyst in the geode, it's like a pillar, and it's like this cone of amethyst basically. And then when they cut them off the crystal, they'll take little plates off and then sell like a pyre of the tops. So they'll sell the tops, and then they'll do these plates of the bigger ones. So that's what you get when you're working with it. Anyway, it's just super interesting. Okay, so my wires jumped, which means you need to go over. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to twist 1, 2. I'm going to bring this one up, twist 1, 2. I'm going to bring this one around to twist in with it as well. Hold on, before I get too far. It's bunched up here. I aligned you guys so that you wouldn't shift on me. What did you do? You shifted on me. I see. You just want me to work for it. Fair enough. Okay. So work. Okay. Lock that in there. Silly tree. Tricks are for kids. Okay. Bring these two over here. Okay. A little bit tricky on this one because I like using my painter's tape because I can get a good grip around all of it without leaving residue. But as you can see here, I've twisted it to kind of bend that in. I don't want it too tight because I'm going to tighten everything up with detail. So keep that in mind there. Yeah, so even if it is rounder, my frame is, as you can see, is smaller than what I'm working with. This is kind of just how it's going to help it lock itself in. But you want to try to get it close to the edge, but just slightly smaller when you're working with cabs or rounds or anything like that. It just kind of locks it in place. Okay. Wrap the roots around it. Yeah. So however you want to do it. Again, I just kind of work it increment by increment. This is just the rough, like this is how we're going to do it for now. But the biggest thing is I'm framing the tree as if it's like on the ground. See what I'm saying? So the roots are going to go around it like it's like on the ground. So, but you want to have them kind of loose because again, you're going to be working with them, the wires. So, but where your core is for your trunk though, those ones need to be tight. It's kind of what gives it the best appeal. It's what holds everything together really well. When I do the branches, because I did 12 strands, I like to keep my 3, 6, and 9. But I think for what we're going to do here is we're going to do 2 strands because of how much I have to come over and around. So we're going to peel off 2 of those right here. 1, 2, 2. Come on. 3. I'm going to make a little twist around that branch that I just made. I'm going to pull out another little chunk. So 1. So 1, 2, 3, right there. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now I got my branches for my tree going up here. Again, we're going to add detail to this and bend it once all the wires are attached, which will help cinch everything down and crimp it into place. But now that I've got my tree up top here, as you can see, now we're going to take all these branches and we're going to move them around. So now we get to probably take off one, two. Okay. Okay. So take off that many. Okay. So I got a branch going that way. These ones doing that. We're gonna have a branch going this way. Those ones doing that. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna take all of this, twist all this nice and tight like a tiger. Lock everything in like so. Okay, so these are the branches. Again, we're growing branches before we can grow our leaves and our twigs. So I've got my roots here grown. I've got the ground that it's formed on. We've got the trunk coming up here, and now we've got our branches coming out for our tree. So now we need to get our little twigs and leaves going. And this is where the fun part gets, where we get to give our tree characteristics. We get to create it the way we want to create it. Give it the personality. Like, this is where all of this comes through. And when you understand energy in the way that trees are like a light beacon, it's fascinating how each one is unique in its own way. So herbal. Okay. So I'm going to kind of shape my tree trunk here so I can kind of see how I want my tree branches to go. And then position and shape everything the way I want it before I start cinching things down. Okay. Yeah. Get that. Like so. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So we're going to undo these twists. Those twists will give me texture. And then, so what I do here is we're going to take our thread and we're going to just do one loop. That way we can position and adjust as needed before we actually lock it in. So we're going to get our wire here. Come on. Okay. So I'll take one here. And then we're going to do one right here. Okay. Now I need to start taking this tape off. Super annoying. This tape, I swear. Okay. Then we need this one to go down here, and this is going to trap it in for us so that our stone doesn't fall out while we get all these attached. Okay, perfect. So now I've got my stuff attached, and we're just going to attach each wire here. And this is where the time-lapse ones come in really handy. Okay. So I got the first branch all stitched into there. So now I'm going to work on this branch. So I kind of work side by side. So I'm building upward like this. So I work with the left side, work the right side. When I'm doing these branches, kind of helps. Again, we're building from the roots, our foundation that we built on this, our roots. So we're pulling it from that. Okay. And twist these a little bit. Give it some character. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. So it's coming along, as you can see. Yeah, so I do want to point out, you'll kind of see here on the back. So this it gets kind of messy back here, but the reason why I frame it is because you're going to be able to tuck each one of those loose ends into the frame, and it kind of like squeezes everything and holds it all together. So that's kind of how I frame the trees. But today, it's amazing. Today it feels heavy energetically. It feels gloomy, but I feel great. I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel good. And the card I drew today for the energy card is my Kaishin card, which is a reminder to work on your feelings of lack. I'm going to just freshen this up real quick and I'll come back to what I was talking about. So the thing I've been learning and healing from my feeling of lack, like, because I work hard, I do all the things everyone else does. I do all the stuffs that we talk about, the inner workings. I do it all. But what's interesting is in the topic when it comes to your fears of it, it's, well, money is the root of evil. We need to get rid of that mindset where there's a negative connotation to it. Because really, as I've been learning in my sovereignty, is that money is just energy. Money is just the it's a representation of what you're doing to exchange for other things. So when you're paying your bills, you're getting your services, you're getting your light. I've got my Wi-Fi, I've got all my cool stuff going on. I got, my rocks, I've got my collections, I got things I'm working with. So it's all exchange. And if you're wanting more of that, you need to put forth more energy. But you need to channel your energies to things that work for you, not for other people. So it's essential that we set boundaries, that we respect ourselves, we love ourselves, we care for ourselves the same way that we would, dedicate ourselves to a 9 to 5 job. We need to care for our own physical health, our well-being in that same manner. And as I've been learning, just getting to work and creating and connecting and just sharing my energy that way is how I've been bringing that, attracting that prosperity and abundance. Now, I make beautiful things. So you get a piece of me when you get something from me, which is amazing. But, when I can say, give gratitude for like my groceries, man, I went and got groceries for 2 weeks because I don't like going to the grocery store. I hate it. So I get 2 weeks of stuff and do lots of meal prep, and then we're good for a while. And, yeah, my grocery bill for 2 weeks is over, it's $250 a month, or I mean, bi-monthly. And I'm just like that. I used to be able to buy the same kind of groceries for half that not too long ago, like in my lifetime. And so it's just ridiculous that creates that sense of lack. It's just like, oh man, how am I going to pay for groceries? How do you overcome that? Instead of being like, how am I going to pay for it? It's like, okay, what energy do I have to provide for what I need now? And what I mean by energy is like the money. I look at my account. Okay, what can I spend now that kind of budgets with what I'm going at here? So getting rid of that fears of your lack in abundance, it's really essential that you set boundaries, you set your budgets, you actually do your column exercise that allows you to get rid of things that are just liquidating your assets, whatever you're bringing in. Because if you're working a job, you're bringing in money. Where's all your money going? Actually get real with it. What don't you need? What do you want in life, and what isn't getting you there? Is it the Netflix? Is it the HBO, Hulu, Disney Plus packaging that you got? Is it all those sport channels that you're subscribed to? Like, is it all the pay-per-views that you're looking at? Like, think about it. What are you spending your money on that is for your higher interest and where you want to be? So we have to be disciplined with how we spend our money, because it's all energy. Sure, we deserve those things. Sure, I want that beer. Sure, I want to go shoot pool. Sure, I want to go sing karaoke. But if I'm constantly doing those things, do those things get me to where I want to be in my life? No. So I have to limit what I do. I'm not saying no, I can't do it. I'm saying I just won't do it at the frequency that I want to do it. It's like a reward of, I'll set a milestone. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set these goals. I'm going to achieve this. And if this happens, at the end of that, then I'll reward myself with it. Now, I don't ever say if I fail, I don't get it, because again, we're getting into that feeling of lack and self-worth. It's more like, I have to get through this, and this before this can happen. So I'm going to give gratitude up until I get what I want. And so, like with my groceries, it's, instead of looking at it as an expense, it's more like, okay, so I have this much energy that I can produce this many meals for my family, and I'm grateful. For 2 weeks, we will be taken care of, and I'll have prepped meals. We'll have everything there. Now, I'm really great as a chef, so I always have like the back end stuff. Like, say we have a crisis, sure, I've got stuff that'll last us a few months, but those are your dry goods that aren't good to eat on a daily. So it's like, I'm thinking fresh ingredients. But I've taken my time. Oh, my water's ready. I'll be right back. So anyway, it's just that was my card. When you're fearing the lack in things, when you're fearing um, not having enough, get rid of what you don't need so you can bring in room for what you do need. Clear your house, sell some stuff, donate some things. If you're ass load of debt, get rid of some things. You don't need to have that kind of stress and burden looming over your shoulders. Sure, we all deal with it. I've got my struggles. Sure, the fears pop up for me too all the time. Because this whole working for myself thing it's new and it's scary, but it's like, well, I got to do it because I'm sick and tired of giving my energy to somebody else that doesn't care. I mean, like my body is hurting because of what I had to do for another man. So it's like, you know, it wasn't in my highest good to continue to work there long term. It became more temporary. So that's just kind of my view on abundance. That's what this Kai Shin card is work on that fear that you're feeling in lack to help attract your abundance and your prosperity. So I absolutely love my little my divine masculine healing oracle. Ooh, that's hot. So good though. A little honey and lemon. Mmm, tasty. Right, but that's exchange of energy, Tracy. Go into your materials to create. Any lack ideas want to come up when you focus on, yeah, and that's true. So it's once you have enough of getting those things where you're sending your energy to get crafting materials, figure out how you can transmute that energy to bring it back to you, some way, shape, or form. So that's kind of how I see it. It's like, yes, we put forth this energy for all of it, but how do we bring it back to us? Oh, that's gross. I don't want that one. Weird buggy surprise. So anyway, I've just been practicing it and I trust that it will come. That's the thing, is I don't stress about how it's going to come. I don't do any of that anymore. I just trust that the divine, because I'm aligned the way that I am, that it's just going to provide itself. And it does. And it just does. I can't explain it any other way. It's like I'm just creating, I'm putting forth energy, I'm putting it out there. I've created space to bring it back in, and it just works that way. There's nothing magic to it. I mean, really, if you think about it, what are the billionaires doing? They've mastered this technique. They can go out and do whatever the hell they want and not have to worry about how they're going to put groceries on their table and fill their fridge and put fuel in their car. They don't have to worry about that. But it's like, how do we get that too? So I'm working on it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm taking you along for my journey of how I'm going about doing this. Yeah, the less thinking. If you can't, so that's something I often tell myself a lot. If there's something I can't do, if I can't do anything about it right now, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to worry about shit that I can't change right here, right now. Now, if they are things that I need to address, they are things that I do need to worry about. Like for me with my custody situation, yeah, I need to get postured up so I can fund whatever comes my way, so I'm prepared for that. But it's like, what can I do about it right now? Absolutely nothing. So I got to get to work so I can make it happen. I make the opportunity for it to come to me. Okay, like that's the power of what we're trying to manifest, is that we need to provide the space for the universe to bring it to us. We need to be ready for it when it's there, and we do it by getting to work. We just get to doing what we're doing, our passions, the things that makes us happy. It's all energy exchange, and it's just, I'm now beginning to understand it. But my journey is to understand how to attract all of what I need to do, all of what I want to do, because there's so much I want to contribute, bring into this world, that I haven't even begun to start doing what I enjoy doing. Like the jewelry, yes, it's awesome. I love working with it, but there's so much more I want to do on top of it. I just want to be so embodied in this crystal healing journey that it's like it is my life to a T. That's what I want. I deserve it. I want to work for myself. I want to create something for myself. And I want to have something to leave my children when I'm gone that they too can work on for themselves. Like it's not about just me. It's like how can they thrive off of our efforts together? So that's my goal. That's my journey. I'm doing it. And I would say I'm winning. Chaos is happening. The crumbling's happening. It's getting scary out there. Yeah, take action about the things you can. Yeah, if you can do something about it right now, do it. But if you can't do anything, yeah, let it go. If you can't, like you owe it to yourself to preserve your energy because your energy is sacred. You have to understand that. Your energy is sacred. And there's so many ways the universe likes to sap you of your vitality. And we get health conditions as a result of chronic dwelling and stressing and worrying about things. Like it's just crazy the cycle that happens. And when you learn how to be present, really that's the secret is learning to be present. It just kind of just creates that reality for you. I don't know how else to explain it, but when I say I'm in my inner child, when my inner child comes out, that's me being ultimately present. Like I'm in like Dragon Ball Z present mode, like straight up present, but not like with Ranger anger, but like that chi that's achieved with it. So it's just fascinating. Yeah, it is about energy. Our energy is so sacred. And the more I learn about who I am as a divine being, the easier it gets to just exist in this simulation. Because they did a really good job at deceiving us and manipulating us and thinking that we needed a system to thrive with. But they've also done a really good job of making themselves look like idiots. So it's like, what are we doing about it? We can't keep allowing people to do that shit to us. So what are we going to do about it? Stop buying their shit. Plain and simple. Stop buying. Make it yourself. Get it yourself. Create it yourself. And it's interesting. I never thought of myself as a wire wrapper, not a single time ever, once in my life. Never did I sit as a childhood and dream, oh man, I can't wait to do wire wrapping one day in my life. I never would have come into this. Like, and I'm being honest, like true and honest with you guys. Never would I have thought that this is what I am doing with my life. Not a single thing. As a matter of fact, I didn't even believe in the power of crystals and rocks, but yet here I am doing it. Like I don't know how else to explain that, but that's the truth. That's the honest truth. It's just keep your eyes open, keep your doors open for opportunity. You never know where you're going to end up. It's like that movie Yes Man with what's his face, Jim Carrey. Yes, sure, yes, sir, yes, yeah, you can. We have a nose there. But it's so true. Like that movie is full disclosure of how to create your reality. They really gave it to you in a movie. Uh, the secrets to manifesting. Say yes. Be a part of it. Get rid of that negative vibe. Embrace who you are. Become who you want to be. I used to be very self-conscious about who I am in all sorts of ways, especially my own personal image of myself. Now, I don't really give a shit what people think about me. and the truth is I just love who I am right here right now. That is it. I do me and that's all I need. I'm just doing me. Now I want to I like having my girls with me. Don't forget that. Like that's a part of me too. Is having my girls with me, my family. It's the secret to my happiness. Is they're always there, keeping me going, making me feel strong and powerful. My girls, they don't know the strength that they give me in their presence. Okay, so we got the gist of it on there. Now we got to shape the tree, give it its characteristics. Got all attached. So I'm going to kind of shape it, get it the way I want, and then we're going to go through and deal with this crazy jumble fucking stuff. This is when people are like, I don't want to do that. And this is where it's like the tree thing gets really good. But Tracy, since you begin into the chain linking, doing the trees will suck you into a time warp just like the chain linking. So keep that in mind with trees. That's one of the rewards. Getting it started is kind of frustrating, but just know that you're going to be able to adjust and altercate it through the whole process to kind of make it the perfect tree for you. So that's what we got here. If you haven't done it yet, whoever's on, or I think it's just you, Tracy, but anyone reviewing this later, hit that subscribe and hit that like. These little cuties, GMO oranges are so good, but when they're not good, they are terrible. Yeah, I can't finish it. There's like no flavor to it. My mom will gift me with some stuff because like the store will be like, buy 3 for 10 or whatever. And she's like, well, I don't need 3, so you guys can have some. I'm like, okay. And then it's like the product that's on sale is just not very good quality. So we end up trying to juice it, try to. This is funny. Oh, that tea though, so good. That lemon, honey. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yes to what resonates, no to what does not. Yeah, you're totally right, Tracy. Totally agree with that. And I think today we're just going to put in a couple little filigree with this tree just to kind of give more body to my bale. So I'm going to create a bale off of this and then add some filigree to hold it together. But we're going to do kind of a clamp, so it's going to appear like it's suspended by the tree. So before you start cinching it down, so what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my frame repositioned where I want it. That way when I tighten each one of these wires, they cinch down exactly where I need them. But I just kind of, so on here when I'm doing this top, I'm going to start here at the top. I'm going to work my way down. I'm going to work both sides my way down, and that kind of help pull everything in together. Chloe, you know you can't be in that current. You float away like a little leaf in the water. I have this beta fish my daughter got. It's just this really beautiful aqua blue color with golden orange underfins on it. Just looks like a fish right from Hawaii. Okay, and that's where I use these pliers for my little jewelry grabbers. Yeah, this is kind of how I fish out all my little threads here because I got big hands. I can't just do it with my bare hands. This requires finesse, tools of precision. So to lock each one of the branches in, I just do 3 loops and call it good. Some people like to just use up as much wire and coil it, and then your frame looks like it's completely coiled. I don't want to spend that much time doing coils, so especially when I'm having to use my pliers like this. So I just do 3. That's usually a good amount to lock in a wire. So you'll have your initial loop around, and then 3 in addition to that. So it'll look like 4 total. Okay. Yeah. And as we go, I'm snipping. I need my fine ones today. So I got these really narrow. They're flat and they're flush. They're like needle nose snips, and I use it for these little small, intricate things that I can't get in there very good. It allows me to get nice and close in there, and then I can get my little needle nose in here and lay that down so that it doesn't catch on any fibers or materials or clothing or anything. So anyway, yeah, I just been reflecting on how I'm going about my life. Once I stopped worrying about how the money's going to come, it just starts flowing. It's just interesting. I just make sure that I get to work, make sure I'm doing my work, providing the space for it to come, and I just go about my day making sure that I'm providing it a space, and then it just happens. So when brother Jimmy likes to talk about tutoring and mentorship type stuff, like you got to do that for yourself. Oh, hey, Angela, welcome. Glad you made it on today. Today I'm working with Amethyst. Oh yeah, Tracy, definitely gonna need some of those. I forget a lot of people struggle with very small, tight, intricate things, and I did as well. Once upon a time, I struggled with things real close. They get real hazy and fuzzy, and so this is what we're working on here. We're making a tree for this amethyst bloom. Or framing, or we're stitching it all together. This jumble mess of stuff. It takes some time. But yeah, some readers really great for some people that struggle with zooming in. But I've been actively working on a daily to sun gaze, both morning and night, as much as I can. I got rid of all my sunglasses and just started absorbing sunlight always. I made it a part of my life to be more in the sun, but not at the extreme times, because there's that UV index that's really high. And as I've been learning in ancient history, those times of days, most of the city and towns would shut down so people could just nap through it because it's so hot and heavy or whatever. So when the sun's hot and overhead, like that's a time to rest, really, preserve your energy. And so I've been doing that a lot. And since I've been doing it, my eyesight has been improving so much. I've never actually needed glasses in my life, but I was getting to that point where I felt like I might need to get some glasses as I'm getting up in my experience. But now that I've been doing what I've been doing, and I work with, I'm also constantly adjusting my focus. So I work with small, intricate things, which helps work those muscles in your eyes. But doing these practices of zooming in and then unfocusing and just practicing it gets those muscles going, can help with how you focus too. And no more sunglasses. Yeah, for years. Yeah. Yeah, sun gazing. They tell you not to do it. Makes me wonder. And oh, I loved it. The last solar eclipse we had, there was a big push to get the crazy glasses or whatever. And it was funny seeing everyone with their like movie theater 3D glasses. Remember those back in the 80s and 70s, the red and blue 3D glasses. That's what it looked like, but they were looking at the solar eclipse. I looked at that shit straight up, no glasses, nothing. But I had enough cloud cover that I could look directly at it, and it was something happened with my eyes in that time. But I have seen things so differently since that eclipse, and I chose to do it myself. I see so many colors. It's more vibrant, more colorful. Just I see prisms all the time now. Something magical happened that last solar eclipse, and I did what they told me not to do. And I love what I see. Like I can perceive why people like today, it's all gloomy, overhaze, blizzard, windy, snow going everywhere. It's wet, cold. And I'm over here like, man, it's so wonderful. And look at all the colors. I'm like looking at all the prisms shimmering from the snow. But I mean, that's how I see my world. I don't know how else to explain it. But when you work on yourself, you connect to the divine. It's amazing what starts unlocking in your own genetic code that was already there. We have to become aware of what we came here with, our gifts. We have to do self discovery to figure out what we possess. It's like a treasure hunt for ourselves, and we have to work on ourselves to unlock things. Kind of like when Nicolas Cage goes through his national treasure hunts. Like he has to get really immersed into it. So when you align with the divine for your own common good, it's amazing what you can unlock within yourself as you continue to work on yourself and be open to things. You never know what comes. But yeah, like I was saying, I never thought that I would be here as a wire wrapper because in high school I liked cars. I wanted hot rods. I wanted my own shop. I liked working on engines. I liked doing all of it. But once I got into the career, it's just like, not for me. Kind of like, worked my way out. And then I went from there to becoming a chef and missed the eclipses. Yeah, reverse psychology. The snow freezing temps, but sparkling prism lights. Yeah, prisms and lights everywhere. It's amazing. Like when the snow comes, it's beautiful. Oh, well, see, I haven't seen the sun in weeks, so it'll probably be piercing for me once I get to see it again. Like they've intentionally been spraying things so much, not being able to see the sun hardly at all. When I see the sun, it's like for 30 minutes before it goes down. It's just crazy. But yeah, I went from being a mechanic to becoming a chef, and I excelled at everything I did. I got really good at what I did. Everything I applied myself to, I got really, really good. So I learned skills all along the way with every choice I made. Actually, before I became a chef, I got into, I was recovering from my addictions and I got into boxing. And so I got kind of into health and wellness a while back and lost a whole bunch of weight. Got myself feeling really good, pushed myself like a machine. Did things I probably normally wouldn't do and still won't do. I dread doing it, never going to do it again, but it is an experience I'll forever remember. But I was doing a lot of growth in that time too, trying to get myself on track again. Feels soft. Oh, I'm lucky. So through the gloom, it does. I can feel the soft energy, but it's like it's the wind is falling sideways out here. It's crazy. I loved my experience as a chef. I thought that's what I wanted to do forever. Then when the pandemic happened, it gave me new perspective to where I needed to be, and so I just kind of worked odd jobs here and there. I tried to go and be a general manager for Domino's, believe it or not. And the way that situation went down was the universe was deliberately saying, "Hey, you need to get the fuck out of food because this is not you. This does not vibe with you." Like literally, I got put in such a horrible situation. I've never rage quit, and that was a rage quit moment. And I feel bad. I feel, because again, I care about my character, the image I leave with people. But the lack of help and effort, like I mean, I can't even explain it. If you worked in the culinary industry, you'll understand what I mean when you don't have the leadership you need to execute what your customers are demanding of you. And we were in a transition where Domino's was selling a bunch of their Domino's owned franchises to franchise owners. And so the store that I was going to be general managing was one of those, which means in this transition time, but I also had just got put into that place and I did not know the crew. Like I only knew the crew like 2 days. And yeah, it was just a really hard spot. I had my weakest moment as a leader there too. I'm not too proud of how I handled the situation, but I learned from it. But I tell you what, though, going back reflecting on it, um, I'm glad I got out because everyone warned me how horrible that place was, and I had to find out for myself. But it is what it is, and I wasn't passionate about it. It was just something that supposedly would have given me a schedule to fit better with my family, the dynamic that I was working on. So yeah, I helped open an Olive Garden. That one was a lot of fun. Loved the company Olive Garden, by the way. Loved their food. They make things from scratch. Super nice. And then any of their food waste, it gets preserved and donated to the local food banks. So I loved that aspect about Olive Garden, by the way. So just know that when you go to Olive Garden, you're getting fresh quality food, and they don't waste their stuff. They just don't waste it. It's amazing. And they always quality assurance is a big thing for that company. Yeah, I did have to listen to my intuition. It was a hard one. It was hard. I mean, in the moment, like I wasn't too proud of myself. Yes, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I had to do what I had to do because I just there was no other way. I wasn't going to wait a week for reinforcements to come and help me in the fires that I was thrown into. I'm just like, no, I'm not investing in this. No, thank you. I don't want to do it again. And again, I'm kind of already dealing with my own traumas and stress of the pandemic, or it's just like bringing back all the bad vibes that I acquired working in that high demand restaurant. But let's see. Oh, I opened a Culver's, one of my favorite burger fast food joints, but where I'm at, we don't have one. So I have to drive an hour to go to Culver's. So I don't go there a lot. But there's another fast food chain that their beef is fresh, never frozen. They do make their own ingredients and their own recipes. Their custard is actually their own real custard. Like, put in the comments. Tell me what you think custard is. What makes custard custard? What makes custard different from ice cream and gelato? Because it's all the same, right? No one really knows what custard is, so I'd be curious. Not all Olive Garden. Well, okay, so the Olive Gardens that I was at, yes, but yeah, I understand. But the Olive Gardens that don't do those kind of things, that's also a reflection of the leadership that's a part of that restaurant, and you shouldn't support it because the Darden policy for which is the franchise owner of that brand, they are about customer satisfaction and quality assurance. So if you got an Olive Garden that doesn't have that, it is a reflection of the leadership within that, and it's not the company as a whole. So just keep that in mind. And I only say that because that's just me, my manager side coming out. I've been a part of that. And same with anything what's another oh man around here. So I live in near the ISU campus, and there's McDonald's all over the place. There's Little Caesars. There's all sorts of crazy restaurants, right? Well, the Little Caesars, because my girls like just their regular pepperoni pizza from there, so occasionally we'll go and get one. And every time we go there, it's just the crappiest pizza I've ever had. And I'm just like, guys, what is going on here? Like, it's not just everything, like a quality, And so it's like I don't like eating out anymore because of that. But when you got a terrible quality product coming out of a restaurant that otherwise is deemed like great, has good reviews, like people love the product or whatever, and then the one you go to is like crap, that's a direct relation to whoever's running the place. Because I can go across town to a different Little Caesars and get the same damn pizza, and it's so much better quality. It's crispy, like it's fully cooked. The dough is spread evenly. It's not holes in the middle. Like, it's just like it's not lacking in pepperonis that when I ordered extra. It's just like it's just funny. But we're coming into a generation where a lot of kids don't know how to work, which is really unfortunate. And those same kids are accustomed to wanting to become, content creators or YouTubers or whatever, kind of like what I'm doing. Not saying there's anything wrong by it, but we just come into a generation where a lot of people just they want things simplified. So AI and robots are coming out because of this. And people, there are the other people that are afraid of, that taking away their jobs, which, yeah, it is going to happen. But what are you doing right now to prepare for that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I love going to restaurants like that where it's like a mom and pop from scratch type restaurant. So that Italian restaurant that you're referring to is the high profile restaurant I worked for. We did everything from scratch. So I get the appeal. It's absolutely amazing. Which is another reason why I can't really go out and eat out a lot is because I'm so accustomed to good quality food with exotic flavor blends and authenticity and tradition. Like I got such a good taste palette for it. I can't eat out a lot. It makes I'm grossed out by it. But there are certain things I'll try that it's like, oh, I go on like a smash burger from Jack in the Box. Greasy all American heart plugging freaking burger. But I like Culver's, like the butter burgers. But I don't eat that stuff a lot. It's just at occasion, like, what, I could go for that. But I like cooking for myself. A lot of the reason why I like cooking for myself is for the energy transfer. I'm applying energy from the time I pick up my ingredients to the time I prepare it to doing my mise en place to putting everything together. Like that video I did the other day of my orange chicken rice bowl. Yeah, that was just my inner child wanted to play, so we just go out and I just create something. And but I like cooking like that because there's so much love and energy that goes into it. I say blessing through the whole process to cutting the produce and saying thank you for allowing me to have you today. Like you're going to help us through our body to pull this meal together to be so amazing and delicious. Like I say all of these things while I'm cooking and working with my hands. And when you're working with your hands, you're using your Reiki energy. You're applying energy to the things that you're using. So, all the tools that you're using when you cook, you're applying energy to all of it, which is why I talk about I'm going to make myself a custom set of wire wrapped and stone crested knives and cutware and kitchenwares because I want to amplify what I'm creating with my magical tools. So, I need a workshop so I can start making my own knife sets again. Or not again, but start doing my own knife creations because I would love to start forging and smithing. So I need a workshop so I can do that. It'd be so much fun. But I'm just flowing with knowledge right now because this process of stitching all these little branches of all these trees, we got 24 of them we got to do, just so you know. Because I did started with 12 wires, folded it in half, built our roots off of it, and now we are getting all the branches attached. But it's just this long, grueling process because I'm working with 26 gauge wire, which is no bigger than the thread you use on a sewing machine. Just so you know, that's what I work with these wires. My mom tells very interesting stories about how I create to people she's recommending. Because my mom, she's like one of my biggest supporters. I love my mom for this. And it wasn't until like after my mom's divorce with my dad that I realized that my mom was really into rocks the same way that I got into rocks. It's kind of funny. I had no idea. Well, my mom, she's my biggest supporter, so she's got dozens of pieces from me. Like she'll give me stuff and be like, "Make this for me," and she'll give stuff to my daughter and be like, "Make this for me." So my mom's got so many custom pieces. Big supporter, but she wears them every single day like I do. And my mom, you can I'm like my mom in a lot of ways. We talk. I tell you what, we can talk. We can carry a story as long as it's something we want to talk about. I'm not a small talker, so if you talk about things that don't resonate with me, I won't give much input. That's just how I am. But yeah, it's my mom. She's one of my biggest advertisers. She tells me dozens and dozens of stories about how people stop her in her tracks to talk about what she's wearing. And she just tells the same story over and over again about all the crazy things they do. Like she says, like this, she's like, oh man, some of those trees he does, there's like 30, 50 wires going all over. I don't know how he does it. And here I am showing you how I do it. But, but oh man, but this is the way my mom edifies me when people talk, ask about the jewelry that she's wearing from us. It's amazing. So in a way, with what I'm doing for my work, I don't necessarily even need to advertise. You just wear a piece, and people are like, "Where the heck did you get that? That is amazing." That's why I like having such a unique product, is because I don't, no advertising needed. It sells itself. If you're into the rocks, you're into the crystals, it just sells itself. And some one of the things I learned about marketing strategies is that it's about the advertising to get you to buy the product. There is hard, they want to give you the guarantee it's amazing, but people that are pushing and advertising hard, a lot of the times, like, it isn't a great product. like mainstream ones, like, okay, let's look at the iPhone. That's another one. Every year there's a new model comes out, it's new and improved, but to me they're putting another number on it, and it's the same damn thing. Okay, but they've been exposed on numerous times of talking about how they engineer their devices to fail after a certain point. They do updates that cripple and harm the device to make you want to get a new one. Like, they do things to get you to buy the product. So if somebody is pushing that hard to get you to buy a new product, then maybe the product isn't that great. Ever think about that? So when I look at my product in contrast to that, it's like I don't really advertise anything. I just say this is what I do, and then you see, and then it works. But I just stay authentic and true to what I'm doing. So, oh, thanks, Tracy. Oh, that's so awesome. That's what I mean, though. People will stop. I don't, it's and I do it out of just my authentic self. Like, I just love doing what I do, and I love creating just to create. I don't, if people copy and get inspired from me and do what I like doing, so be it. I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to do it. But what I do know is that no one can do what I can do. No one can create the way I create. No one can connect to crystals the way I connect to crystals. No one brings in the insight and wisdom and knowledge of the life that I've walked on top of what I'm doing with it. So it's like I'm more than happy to help someone succeed, because in a way that's helping me succeed. And that's always the approach that I like going about in my just the mentality of my everyday life, is just helping people succeed, because we will receive the success that we are looking for by helping. It doesn't need to be built on the backs of slaves. It doesn't need to be built on the backs of grungy, numbers on a freaking. I'm not even going to go there, but yeah. um, yeah. It's just, I like to just be authentically me. I like to do me. And I like to help people succeed. If I can teach someone and they can go off and build their own amazing business and I help them do it, freaking awesome. You know, Now I'm learning how to utilize my energy so I'm being compensated, because I don't want to give my core energy that I find that I prize and value to them to build that, because that's not right. But if I can give them advice, if I can do a little tutorial, if I can do, something to kind of give tips and tricks, I'm going to help all the time. But I'm not going to give them the full rundown of how I'm doing my business. No way. Because I created it for me. But I love giving pointers. I love teaching. I love sharing and helping. I mean, I don't hold back. You ask me, I probably will give you an honest answer. Uh, yeah, it's interesting, the selfish and the greed of these very powerful people. I don't even consider them wealthy. I actually think that they're hurting more than I am, and they're just trying to use money to make it feel better, and it isn't enough. So I kind of feel bad for some of these people that are stuck in their chaos of too much money and too much abundance, or fearing how they're going to maintain it through their lies and deceptions that they've led. Like, that's another one. Yeah. How are they going to maintain it once the truth comes out that they built their shit off of? Uh, can't wait. Let it happen, because people like me, we want to survive too. We are working just as hard as anyone else. We want to make it too. And we don't want to work for somebody that doesn't want to have our best interest in mind. And we certainly don't want to work with somebody that doesn't align with our higher self, our better good. You know. Um, you're gonna start a tree. Cool. Well, and you can get creative. I mean, the trees. It's cool because you're working with so many wires, so you can get creative with how it comes together. So, however it comes together, just say, "I did it," because it can get pretty crazy. But I usually start with about, I don't know, 10 inches of wire, 10 inches, because when you fold in half, you'll have 5 inches to work with. And then I just take the wires, fold them in half, and then, as you saw, I twisted them onto the frame so they're already attached. And then I start bending my wires and shaping it to fit what I'm working with, and kind of shaping it to how I want to incorporate it into the piece that I'm doing. So this one, I'm doing a tree. You can kind of see it here. But I'm doing a tree that's gonna kind of looking around the eye that's in there. But the eye that's in there, it looks like moss agate in a sense, but it's not. But it looks like a little world trapped inside of this thing. It's super cool. So that's what we're working on. Oh yeah, and this amethyst piece is super cool. So I'm wrapping it. If I can get my camera to zoom in here, I'm wrapping it through all those little points. Yeah, there we go. So that it kind of stays open, because the points are how the energy gets transmitted out, kind of like the leaves of a branch of a tree. And so in this pendant, I want that energy to be so radiant. I did a little meditation with it to see its sacred geometric patterning. Did a meditation at the beginning of this, so you'll have to review it. But I ground myself before I start channeling, because I don't want to give my personal energy. So this one, when I did my meditation, it had a lot of purple, some pink, lots of gold light coming off of it, and I was feeling a tree. I was just, it felt like a light, like a beacon of light. And so I was like, okay, so because I see trees as pillars of light, essentially, like they are alive, very much conscious. I wouldn't say sentient per se, but conscious for sure. Um, but they do respond to you, and they love children. I talk to mine, Bill, outside, and he laughs every time. He's just like, really? My name's not Bill. I'm like, well, you're going to remain Bill until you tell me what your name is. But anyway, I just forgot what I was talking about. Oh, you're so welcome, Tracy. Yeah, I'm. If you guys haven't heard earlier on this post or this video, I'm going to be doing my lives. I'm going to start doing them on Mondays. I'm going to commit to one weekly live. That way I can kind of schedule them for people so they can kind of get in that routine. And we'll just do them like my my live Let's Talk Rocks, I think is what I'll probably call it. Let's Talk Rocks Live. And yeah, so I'll create a creation and kind of talk about what comes to mind when we talk rocks. And I channel a lot when I'm creating. I'm feeling a lot of energy when I'm doing what I do, but I'm a really great multitasker, if you will, so I can kind of do all of this energy stuff all at once. But I've also been practicing how to utilize my upper chakras, and so that's where all of this comes from. Is I've just been doing a lot of inner work for myself to be able to do what I do now. Being able to talk and work, though, that was a skill that I acquired as being a chef, because you don't have time to not be constantly working. So you can always, anyway. So I just got good at doing it. So what happened was I started cooking and singing. That's kind of how it all started. I started singing while I was cooking. It helped keep my nerves down, helped keep a rhythm going, helped me just get through the rush, the dinner hour rush. That was always just grueling. Every freaking dinner was grueling, so intense. And again, it's because we worked in a kitchen that was completely from scratch. So if you wanted a burger done, it was pink and raw before we started cooking it. You know what I'm saying? You can order it the way you want it. You wanted your pizza made, you can customize it however you wanted. We made it from scratch. We made the pizza dough that day, kind of thing, like you're getting fresh dough every day. Like it just that's just how we did it. So there's the learning how to work and talk and do multiple things at once really and is from the culinary experience. Like even short order, like you have a screen that only holds 32 items, but you're 3 pages deep into orders. So you've got 40 items sitting in queue, and you've got to get a count. What do I need down? What am I working on now? How many plates do I need? I need more product. And you're trying to recall all this information. You're trying to remember this information. And then once the order is gone, you got to forget that information and start over. So it's like you're going through this cycle of 12-minute cycles of orders, and you don't know what's coming your way. So when you get really, really good at learning how to talk, communicate, like multitask while you're working with your hands, like you just have to. Like it becomes working in an industry as a seasoned veteran, if you will. I call them veterans. Like we're going to be honest here, we're veterans. But as a seasoned veteran, it requires a lot of actual management skills to be able to do the job, stay on top of it, and be on your A game. Because we all know what it's like when your order isn't right. We all know what it's like when your French fries are stale because they sat out for 10 minutes. We all know what it's like when your shit's not cooked all the way through or not the way that you had ordered it. Say you got your steak, you ordered it mid rare, and you got it well done. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to be accurate. We have to be precise because not everyone knows what we are going through just to make their meals. So it's like it's just amazing. And then when you get to work with a crew together, it's absolutely incredible. The teamwork, the synergy of working together and helping everyone succeed is amazing. That's kind of where all my idea, philosophy about how I live my life was really from my experience as being a chef. Because let me tell you, I was forced to do things I don't think I would have ever experienced anywhere else in my life. I just there's no way. There's just no way. We never experienced it. Yeah. Absolutely. Thanks, Tina. But I just I now know that one of my superpowers is my voice. And it's taken me a long time to develop. Believe it or not, I was introvert. Just so you guys know, I was the quietest kid. I was the quiet one in the back. I was the one that was so shy and scared and timid. I didn't talk to nobody. When a cute girl I liked came by and walked by me, my face went blush. Like that was me. I was so introvert. You have no idea. You can ask, if you ever get a chance to talk about anyone that knew me before 15 years old, they'll all tell you like, yeah, man. Uh, and so I've done a lot of work on myself to be right here where I am now, comfortable with it. One of the things with my daughter that she has these ticks, she's got anxiety, she's got stress, right? But we all have control over us. We all have control over us. Well, when I give my daughter my insight that, yeah, I mean, you're aware that that happens. You're consciously aware that you do these things. And if it's causing a trigger with this person, yes, they should not be triggered. I agree with you. However, you also need to give respect that you do it because they're not the only ones that has made comment about how you have it. And then she's like, well, I just can't. It's just a thing that I do, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, yes, I understand. And the way that you're expressing it is acknowledging that you're aware of what you're doing. So, because you're aware, that can help you kind of focus more on controlling it. Not in the sense that, oh, you got to stop it. I'm just saying, just be conscious of when you're doing it. Like, what's causing you to do what you do, your little tick? What's causing it? You know? Oh, it's when I'm feeling like this. Oh, okay. So now we can work on that. It's not the fact you got a tick, it's the fact that there's something causing the tick that you're not working on. And that's what I try to teach to my daughter. There's something that's causing you to be ticked, and that's why what you need to address on. And a lot of it I come to find, like, because I'm very clairvoyant with her now. A lot of it's because she just doesn't like the teacher, and that's where it's coming from. Is she all of this has evolved from an emotional perspective about a situation, and she dwelled on it all day, and it's just she unglues on me about it. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll hold space for you to vent. But I do let her know. I was like, it's I have to be that one also. It's like, it's you do it. I notice it, and it bothered me for a long time, but I got used to it. Yes, but your teacher also isn't in your life as much as I am, so you can't expect her to just get used to it. Like it's a thing you do. So you have to give respect to that for others. It's not that it's a problem; it's that you also need to work on you. And that's why I think a lot of times mental health for the youth these days is oftenly used as a crutch. Well, I got this, so I can't do that. Well, I got this, so I can't do that. I can't count how many times I hear that. But it's almost like once there's a label to it, now there's a reason or excuse to justify a poor action or behavior. There's a reason to justify why they were, so upset or whatever. And I don't agree with that. I don't, if you've done something with the intent to harm others or you've done something to harm another, take accountability for that. Acknowledge that you actually did that because you're going to continue to do those things until you heal it. So work on it. And that's what I work on a lot with my daughter because she gets into these rants and raves and just so forceful and so much anger sometimes. It's like me. She's literally like me, and I'm seeing myself. And it's like, oh, I used to do that. And I'm grateful that I worked through it. But that's why I'm just like, Addison, you're doing exactly what I do. So the wisdom I'm giving you is you're doing exactly what I've done to a T. And I didn't teach you that. It's just funny. I didn't teach you that, but you're doing it anyway. But maybe I did. I don't know. But either way, that's how I'm helping my daughter. Is like, well, and I have to ask her, do you need a dad or do you need a friend? And she's like, I just need you to listen. I was like, hey, you just need a friend. Like I have to draw that line because I'm going to give my advice to help. Like, that's just who I am. Um, but it's like, and the only reason why I say it in that way is because a lot of times it's not the first time we've had this conversation. And I'm somebody, once we absolve and talk things through, I'm going to continue to work on it so it's no longer a problem, and so it's a done deal for me. But some people don't have the discipline to maintain that like I do, which is why it was so weird for me to get thrown out the way it did, just in how it went down. The claims that were made, don't understand. I understand it was the universe preparing me for something bigger now, but it was. I feel like I'm pretty reasonable. I feel like I can talk and understand with people, you know. And Tina, that's all we can do. I'll be honest with you, I'm learning about myself every day because when I interact with random people I don't know, I understand that a lot of times they're going to be an NPC type person. What I'm going to perceive of them is a reflection of what I'm feeling on the inside. And if I'm not feeling good on the inside, I do find that when people interact with me, it's not so pleasant. And in a way, when it triggers me, it's like I'm beginning to realize that those triggers is something in me that's coming out and I'm seeing it in them too. So it's like, in a way, the way they're behaving is bringing that part of me out also. So it's like duplicating something that I'm not haven't healed or worked on. So anyway, it's just, and when I have those experiences, I go home and I think about it. I'm like, okay, so why did that person trigger me? And I think about what I observed with them that led up to the interaction. And then I'm just like, okay, it makes sense. They reacted this way because they were matching my energy. They had no reason to do what they did, really, but they were just matching my energy. And that makes perfect sense to me now. Okay. These little pesky wires. And you got to be careful when you're trimming these, Tracy, because you don't want to trim your branches. I've done that a few times where I'll go and snip one of these loose wires, and then my branches broke too, and I'm like, freak, got to cut that one off now. Happy accidents, just like Bob Ross says, they're just happy accidents. I'll be honest with you, even though you might notice weird flaws and blemishes in your product, the majority of the people that get it, they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it. They just don't, because all they're looking at is the whole of, holy shit, how did he do that? Like, oh man, that crystal's amazing. It's like staring right at me. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's we're our own worst critics. And I think that's why I like your artwork so much, Tracy, because you're very expressive with it, and you have a very unique style that's unique to you, and I love it. Love everything about that. And you're like an oracle painter, just so you know. I tell everyone that's what you are, because you literally painted a dream I had. And it was totally synchronistic to when you posted it. I still remember when you first posted what I was feeling that day. It was crazy. Locked in time. And I was on a spiritual high then. Holy crap! I had this new awakening. I had found step into your power. Like it was just like I was so like spiritually charged. Like I still am, but I'm not overly excited like I used to be. It's like you get used to things. So it's like I like to be at this state always, but you get used to the excitement of it. But I'm always working on myself. Like, I mean, I've been going through my own darkness, and it's still coming. But when I'm having a good day like today, where I'm not stressed with the crumbling, yeah, I'm going to live in the moment. And when I am stressed in the crumbling, I'm going to live in the moment. I'm going to feel that pain and misery, as it comes and arises. It's like I don't want to run and hide from it. Feeling that pain is how it's going to speed up your healing, because you're not going to like feeling like that, right? Well, feel it. It's there. It's present. It's there right now. Feel that pain. And then let it go. You have to feel pain still in this world to heal. And we're getting to that point we don't need to. And I'm excited for that day that I don't need to suffer to learn my lessons or get what I need or overcome. It just is pain-free. Can't wait for that day. But until then, just got to deal with it. So grueling. Yeah, that we're all connected. It's true. It's true, Tracy. Like I just can't even. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. And there's so many times that you've painted something that I've already seen. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know how else to explain it. It was cool yesterday that I learned about my dreams a bit more. Because lately I've been having these weird dreams where it's like I'll go into a dream, I'll feel the dream, I'll experience the dream or whatever. But right before that dream happens, it's all kaleidoscopic. So I'm seeing like Mandelas and kaleidoscopes in my dreams. And so if I zoom my perspective back out of the dream, like I'm looking at it, like I'm putting my head into a screen to view something. When I zoom out, that's when I start seeing the kaleidoscope to what I'm focused on. And it was interesting because in one of those dreams, I was looking at other ones and I was thinking, well, is this like the in-between dream worlds? Like, because I've been trying to really practice dream walking. And then Honey confirmed to me, he's like, no, that's the astral. And I'm like, well, duh, I already knew that. I've had my own astral experiences conscious. Uh, but it just didn't click to me in the dream world. That's what was happening too. I just thought it was, the changes in my life that was happening, it's evolved my dreaming. So I just thought that's kind of how it came. But she's like, no, you're astral dreaming. And I was just like, whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, next time I notice it, I want to actually, because I do experience lucid dreaming a lot, but I actually want to see what I can create there. I want to, in my dream, while I'm dreaming, create something. I don't even know, just something big, like the movie Inception, when he goes into the dream world and they created that false reality of the city to keep his wife contained in. Like, I want to see what I can create in there, like that. Or like in that movie Slumberland with what's his face, Jason Momoa, who I get told I look like I'm Jason Momoa's chubby old brother. So funny. I like dreaming a lot now that I know how to. Now that I dream all the time, and yeah, so apparently I'm astral traveling when I'm dreaming now. That's amazing. And no wonder why I wake up feeling like I know new things. Like I wake up with awareness. That's kind of what happens. I wake up with something right in the front of my head of, okay, this is what I want to talk about. And I think that's kind of what inspired the energy cards that I've been drawing for my Divine Masculine Healing Oracle. Um, because the cards, when I draw them, they line up to how I'm feeling right when I wake up. It's so crazy. Like right when I wake up. When I wake up, I do my breathing. I do, get my body going. I get stretching, moving myself, get things flowing. Kind of set my mind straight, just allow myself to adjust. No alarm clock. I got rid of that. My biological alarm clock is now engaged. So I wake up at the same time every day, and it's a decent time. However, last night I went to bed really late. My inner child had taken over playing Tetris. Next thing I got super late. Love Tetris. Puzzles. Of your painting? Yeah, well, yeah, we will see. I like giving my interpretations of your paintings because yours always, they just, Tracy, your paintings just always like bring out a story that I connect with. I don't even know how to explain it. There's just, and I'm sure that if I were to see it in person, it would be more profound for me. But I feel the energy that's applied with every brushstroke that you do. Like I'm feeling an emotional energy attached to it. It's crazy. And it's usually never anything bad. It's usually something good, but you're like, in a way, you're painting the fabrics of the universe into a portrait, a two-dimensional portrait. And it's fascinating what you see when you just are inspired to create. And maybe, who knows, maybe that's a skill I'll just get better at. Start learning how to paint. Because I would love to be able to illustrate what I see sometimes, especially in my meditations. Boy, if I could, if I could have, which I'm not going to do, but if I could literally take what I dream and think about and put it on a screen for somebody to see, man, you guys would be freaking wild. But would I want that permanent ability? No. I just want to be like telepathically project my memory onto a screen, with my own biological self. No wires, no modules, no resistors, no batteries. Activate my divine soul. Kind of like in the Green Mile. Like Green Mile. Remember that movie? When he touches the guy, he shares the memory of that bad man, the one that killed those two girls that got that healer in prison on the Green Mile. Yeah, I freaking love that movie. Just watched it the other day. It's free on YouTube, or was free on YouTube. Yeah, if I could share a memory like that, like put my hand to their forehead and share a memory, oh, that would be so cool. I want to learn. I want to meet someone that can teach me how to do that because I don't even understand how that works. But I'll tell you what, I think it'd be cool. Be like, here, you want to see? I'll show you, and then just like boom, puts them right into a state of a trance or whatever, and they can see what I'm seeing. For me, that's Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. Yeah. Yeah, the Green Mile is. If you haven't read the book is uh, way more intense than the movie. The movie was great. The movie was great. Or like the Giver. The Giver, he gives the memories to the person to carry the burden of everything. In the movie The Giver, or the book The Giver, which is even better. I want to be able to do that. I think that would be cool. Who knows? Maybe that's a code in my DNA that's working its way out and activating. Oh, idea, light bulb. Literally just had Gru go through my head, light bulb. So there's that idea that certain quartz crystals shaped in a skull can trap an actual consciousness, like a human consciousness, a full consciousness, kind of like Richard with his orb. I forget his name, or Jeffrey or something like that. Anyway, I remember Esmeralda. That's a pretty one. But it's very curious how that happened, that process. And I wonder if it's the same way of giving the memory where people can do that, share a visual memory like that energetically. I wonder if that's the same kind of Reiki practice to storing your, something into a crystal. Sounds like I'm getting into some Lord Voldemort shit. This his what do they call them? The Horcruxes. Demonize those things to preserve his soul into tangible objects. Not that that's what I want to do. I want my soul to be me, and I want to go back to the divine, my home. I don't want to be trapped in this earth. I like to experience this earth, yes, but I want to go home. I want to go to my full. I've seen who I am. I've felt who I am on the outside, and it's so much. It's different experience than the one that we experience here. I tell you that right now. But in this reality, we get to experience both the light and the dark simultaneously. Yeah, I think it is voluntary because you have to be able to put your intention into crystals. And so you have to be willing. And I think that's kind of like the code of conduct in anything universal is that you have to give your consent, which is why you have that power. If something doesn't resonate with you and you don't agree with it, the word I do not consent is a power spell. I do not consent. And it's indisputable. No one can dispute that when you say I do not consent. Because what happens if they try to force it is now they have to tap into dark forces to force it upon you. But that spell of saying I do not consent, it saves you in a lot of the circumstances. Like even if you're going through like legal things, like I will just straight up say I do not consent to that. I didn't agree. I lacked understanding. I did not hear the full terms of everything. It's like I do not consent. And we willingly give it away, like with our phone numbers. Everywhere you go to buy any whatever, it's like, oh, are you part of our rewards plan? Let's get your number on there. No, I just tell them straight up, I do not consent. Oh, but you could save this much money. Yeah, for you to put my number on a call system so I can be spammed the rest of my life, so that I can leave a paper trail of where I've been and what I've done. No, thank you. I don't need your rewards. Logging my number in a database, selling it to a third party market on the black web. I'm like, no way. I get calls from people. I'm like, how did you get my number? I don't give my number out. It's just like, I do not consent. It's one of those spells. that we can do for ourselves. So anyway, not that I want to put consciousness into a crystal, but I think that's an old, ancient way of understanding, if you will. I've been on the other side. Okay, so we've got this all attached. Now we need to give it some shape. So I've got my piece here. It's all loaded up. Looks clean and beautiful. Okay. So now I need to give my trees some character. So I'm gonna start with the tree trunks. And okay, so I got my round pliers. These are my round needle nose ones, very small. They do the intricate stuff. When you're working with these, if you squeeze too tight, you can cut right through your wires. So keep that in mind because it's rounded. It does work like scissors, especially when you're working with silver and copper and gold. It will cut them, leave marks. So what I do with them is I kind of position where I want it, and I just hold my hand and twist without squeezing. That's kind of how I use these. Is I just get it enough to pinch, and then I twist without squeezing what I'm holding. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of hand control is what I'm getting at. Okay, so we are going to get the roots going here. All right. So I've got to hunker over here for a while so I get my roots. So we're going to sit all weird, like prop my arms up on the table. All right. I also have a little flat screwdriver. This is nice because of the small point. It's not sharp, but it allows me to get in between these wires to pull them apart. Sometimes, like if you're trying to get underneath something, it's nice to have something that gives some leverage so you can slip a wire underneath there too. So I have one of these for that purpose. And this one, I made it just a smidge too tight, so I got to pull them apart, but I don't want to damage my wires because then I have to fix it. Okay. Oh, perfect. So I'm going to cut this YouTube off at 3:30 today. I told my daughter that I was going to do tacos, so I got to get to making. So I'm going to do my own salsa, make my own guacamole. I'm doing. I picked up some local free-ranged beef, just some burger. So, but I like to mix it in with black beans and my own Spanish rice and make a filling kind of thing. But lots of sauce, lots of flavor, lots of vegetables, lots and lots of vegetables. This year, kind of one of the things that my daughter and I want to work on more is just eating better, eating less meat. We both realize that like our digestive system doesn't respond well to meat anymore, which is not a bad thing. Like it's just like we just get extra bloaty and gassy, and again, we're learning to listen to our bodies. So we just kind of, if that's how it makes us feel, okay, well, let's stop eating it, and just see what happens. Because I don't need to get it. I'm a chef. I'm creative. I don't need things to make something happen. I'm very good at creating a vegan and dairy vegetarian type diet just from nothing. But I like using mushrooms a lot too. So there are some really amazing mushrooms out there that have a meaty flavor to them. Like morels, for instance, have kind of really profound beef flavor. And I like working with morels, but they're kind of seasonal. They only come around here and there. Usually around the fall time, late summer, fall. Um, but I'll substitute the morels for beef all the time. They taste exactly the same, in my opinion. At least the way I prepare them, they do. Um, But yeah, I love working with mushrooms to substitute my desire for meats. There's just so many other things. And mushrooms are great. I love working with mushrooms. Like lion's mane, it's kind of like tofu in a sense. It'll absorb the flavor you're applying to it, which is super cool. I like portobellos. Portobellos are great. Like a big cap is a great replacement for like a sandwich, for like a hot griddled sandwich or something. Now we do like cheese in our house. We do a lot of cheese. We love cheese here. But it is what it is. Love cheese. We don't. I don't do a lot of milk, but we definitely do cheese a lot. I don't even really like cooking with milk. I like cooking with the heavy whipping cream though, because you're getting all that fat, like good fat. I try to get the unpasteurized stuff. We have a dairy farm out here called Reed's Dairy, so whenever I can get a good cream from them, it's an unpasteurized milk, which tastes so much better. It cooks so much nicer and actually holds so much better. Like when you're cooking creams with hot, you can break the cream and it gets all curdled. Like when you're working with stuff that's not pasteurized, it holds so much better. I don't even know how else to explain it. But when you're cooking with like a creamy soup or whatever, which is what I'm going to be doing, I'm probably going to do my loaded baked potato chowder today for dinner. But I want to get my guacamole and stuff made today because my avocado is starting to turn. Not a good time for avocados, but I definitely want to do a chowder today. But that's why I got to leave early. I got to get my vegetables all cut. Okay, so I've got queso. I love cheese. I got the roots all done here. Let me see how I kind of shaped them. Gave them some character and texture. Positioned them where I needed to. And then with these pliers, again, I use this because this allows me to press down without damaging my wires. So I press down on the back side here to kind of lock them in place so they don't slide on you. So I push down right here, right on the outside of my frame to lock them in place. Yeah, it is so much better for you, and the Amish are testament to that. Like they literally only have that, and the people in those communities have some of the best overall health. Like it's pretty amazing, because they're always grounded, they're always working there with their hands, they're working with their animals, they're making everything. So they have a really great positive quality of life because they just choose to live that way. All right, so now we're using this one, and all we're doing is twisting my wires to give the leaf appeal on all these branches. Yeah, and I've heard stories that some of them can be pretty rude and whatever. I've heard some of those stories, but the majority of people I've met that are like that, they're actually really kind and gentle people. A little different, a little odd, just because we're used to our ways, obviously. But yeah, kids like to play together. Like that's what matters. Is being able to live in harmony and in peace with one another, learning to understand one another, and not infringe on their beliefs. If they want to live their ways. As long as it's not causing harm on others. Now, there's that dark side of the Amish that's come out that I've, you know, come into awareness of. Not too proud of, but that so are humans. Humans are pretty messed up, period. Okay. Yeah, very nice people. And they're very, like, a lot of them are very, like, carefree. You ever notice that? They're so present and in the moment, like an inner child. They're just carefree. And it's like, I want that. Yeah, they help one another. Like they see someone struggling, they don't even question. They just jump in and help. Here, let me help you, neighbor. And that's what I want. Community like that where people can just help. They say hi. Freak, I can't count how many times like I say hi to my neighbors and it's like, oh great, he's talking to me again. Like that's the immediate vibe I get. And then they just put on their fake smile. Oh hey, have a good day. Bye. It's like, okay, just trying to be friendly. Just don't need friends. That's why I'm saying hi. I'm worthy of them. Okay. Okay, so we gave these branches some character. So these top ones here. Now I need to give my trunk a little bit of character. We're gonna shape it a little bit. We're gonna add a little crook right here to match that little bubble. Yeah, and then we're gonna take this one here. There we go. Perfect. Like that. Add a little crooked in there. Yeah, there's that one. Okay. Well, we are now at 3, well, almost 10 past 3. Okay. So this is my live for today. Yeah, I know electricity is definitely a weird one, but it's not strange. I mean, it's just like for me, it's like camping. um, but yeah, this is what we've created today for my live little amethyst druzy. I'll probably do a time lapse video of framing one of these. Is what I'll do next for this one. But I'm going to do a pretty elaborate bail for this one. That's what I'm feeling. The bail. So that's the part that hooks to your necklace. So I'm going to stitch in a really cool weave to go with the bail, and then it'll be attached through some elegant, feminine whatever's to kind of fill it up a little bit. But yeah, if I can get that shimmer in there. You can kind of see how I did the roots there. They just kind of get flowing, twisting, going with it. Just looks like a tree. You know? I got the back side open so you can do your meditations with it. Rub your thumb in the middle. That's why I kind of like the framing on these. Because when you put your hand, over the wires, you're connecting to the circuit that you've created with the trees. Crystals are piezoelectric, so we apply energy. So the reason why I do trees on crystals is for this purpose. We're exciting the energy in it when we rub it. We're adding the energy to it, and then we're tapping into the frequency it's generating by the coils of the tree. So see how I'm doing this? So in my meditations, when you're wearing it, this is something where you can actually plug into its energy to heal from. So, but this one's super cool. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, this amethyst is so beautiful. And when you see it with the light going through it, I wish I had a flashlight. Where is my flashlight? Anyway, the light going through it, I'll get good pictures of it because this is a spectacular chunk of amethyst. Yeah, the colors are so beautiful. But yeah, this is a framed one. There's a lady I follow that does these trees like this, and she just does them like this, and then she does a loop and calls it good. But that's just not my style. I gotta do one up on it. Like that's kind of how I work. Like it's just my competitive nature of oh, I can do that. I'm just gonna try doing it better. And then I'll learn a lot of times. I'll learn, okay, I probably shouldn't do it that way. But I made these cute little guys, these little hot air balloon earrings, time lapse videos. These are so cute. Absolutely love them. I'll show you the little moss agate nuggets in there. They're like faceted. They're like super. I'm gonna steady my hand. Isn't that cool though? It's like life trapped inside this crystal. Just and then the facet on these is super high quality. They got them perfect. Like look at the hexagon right there. Boom. Right in the middle of that. I got these from apparently these are from India. Your grand. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, so these are these moss agates are really cool. And the idea of it, because it's so grounding, is to fly free. Take the grounding of Earth with you and go fly free. So I made those little hot air balloon inspirations. It's like my daughter may have dropped one of these. I'm gonna straighten it out here. But yeah, it's just that's kind of what I was feeling. Flying free. I mean, I was really grounded that day, but I was gonna take my grounding with me up into the air. But yeah, just these cute little ones there. Got them all listed up. And I got the three ores, so bronze, copper, and silver, which is the trinity for a lot of ancient technology. Been learning a lot about the metals. So, and what's cool about these, because they'll hang in your ears. Your ears are tied to your pineal and your throat and everything else in your body. So when you put them in your ears, just your normal lobe ones, you're actually pulling this into your auric field right here in this area, which is super cool. So it helps with a lot of your mental stuff, which is super awesome. So something to keep in mind when you're wearing earrings is the piercings. It's like acupuncture. It's tapped into different energy centers in your body. And it's important that you got to be careful and make sure it's done professionally so they don't put it in the wrong spot. Like those people who get the piercings, the barbell for and the hoop right here on the inner ear thing for headaches. If it's not pierced right, it can give you permanent headaches. So you got to be really mindful with the acupuncture because that's what piercings are. But earrings are great. I have mine. I've got my these are Brazilian quartz. When I put these in, my whole body was like reverberating. I was like, "What is happening to me?" It felt so weird. Like it took like 5 minutes to synchronize. It was crazy. But these Brazilian quartz, um, man, just having them, my mind just works so acutely and so quickly and process some very complex things in a very short amount of time. And in a way, they've been helping me through my healing too, because when I was dished with my daughter, I mean, it was years is what it took me to overcome that last time. Years, pretty much half my daughter's life. And this go around, I, I mean, I still have my wounds; they're still fresh, but I'm pretty healed in just a few weeks, and I'm pretty proud of myself. Like I feel good. I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not waking up sad and lonely. Yeah, I miss my little girl, but I'm getting over it. I'm actually doing something amazing with it. I'm channeling that anger, that rage that's inside me that wants to fight back, and I'm doing something beautiful with it. The fire that's burning inside me that wants to just go straight up warrior mode. I'm transmuting it into something beautiful. Um, I've been working a lot with my deck here, my divine masculine. These are absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, this is ours today, Kaishun. This is your abundance. So work on your feelings of lack so you can attract abundance. And that's kind of been my message today. But this has been fun, guys. We got 15 more minutes. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? I got you for 30 more minutes. I don't want to cut it early, but yeah, I just life is so beautiful. Oh, the sun's out finally. Cool. I have to go get some sunlight. Take my dog out for a minute. Do you guys know if there's an Ascension Mastery today? I can't remember on the schedule. I have to look at my phone. Oh, my stands for my drive and talk. I've got this pop socket, and that's why my shit falls all the time. That was so funny. But this case is cool. It's got my shungite here, and then I've got some labradorite here. It's the ghost labradorite mushroom. Little dust cap charm. So even my phones are decked out in crystals. That was so funny. Um, oh, thanks, Tina. No, yeah, I do. I know the power of my voice, and I choose to use it for good, and that's why I just start talking. I just start speaking. I don't mean harm by people, but I mean, hell, if you're triggered by what I have to say, then it's very clear and evident that you got something you got to work on. Meditate and use. Yeah, the concept of meditation is an interesting one. It took me a hard time to grasp the concept of it. Um, but my visuals has always been there, and honestly, it's my inner child that comes out when I visualize things. It's like immediately my inner child is what's picked up, and I'm just like everything becomes colorful. It becomes comic book hero status. It becomes something like comedy or Looney Tunes. Like when a lot of times when I review a rough situation with somebody, it always comes out in a type of Looney Tune where it's comedy. So I can laugh it off. But that's just, that's what I mean by visualizing is like, remember the things that you envisioned as a kid. Like we had our interest as a child, and that's what I focus on. Mine's comic books, which is amazing because superheroes are essentially archetypes, spiritual archetypes, which is really weird. Tommy does his decodes on them. But I'm into DC comics, so I know a lot about the DC, and the correlation of it is it's so funny, the comic book heroes that are aligned to the gods that are in this. So just so funny. I can't give you the names of all of them, but I know I've read into them and learned about them. But yeah, meditation for me, it's the hardest part of meditation for me was bringing my mind still. Because my mind, when I get to breathing, I get to relaxing, and the next thing you know, I've got flooded, bits of knowledge flowing through me, whether they're my thoughts, they're collective thoughts, I don't know. Just information just starts passing. My thing with meditation, to silence the thoughts, to just listen, just to kind of like just be present, was to focus on what I see behind my eyelids. And that's where I really started tapping into um, the Mandalas. So I see Mandalas all the time. Um, and every piece of jewelry I wear even gives me different configurations of Mandela. So that's kind of how I get my mind still, is I just look through my third eye. It could just be black. Look into the blackness and start imagining what you want to bring into the blackness. Like, what are you desiring? What is something that you haven't had that you desire to have? A childhood thing. Like for me, I want an amazing RC car. Like I want one of those shifter carts, like RC cars that go super fast. So it's like I had to imagine um, in the black space how I'm going to get that. you know Now, is it something I want now? No, it's just like a whatever. If I can get it, cool. If not, I'm not gonna waste my life with it. But just start visualizing in your mind what you want and desire. I like toys a lot, but most of my toys are stones now. They just sit here and look pretty, and I use them. I use all of them. I'm constantly working with my crystals, practicing configurations for meditations. So let's say I'd go to do a meditation for, okay, working on my shadows. I was triggered by the situation with my ex, so I had to work. I had some shadows from that relationship that I had to work on. So I created this configuration around me in my meditation of crystals that are focused for emotional healing. So I had my rose quartz, and I had my fluorite, and I had my ocean jasper, and I had my jasper, my red jasper. I had my ruby zoazite. I had this one in my hands. I had this one in my hands, my honey calcite, and this one, both of them in my hands. And I created this arrangement around me, and in the meditation, to silence my mind, to silence my thoughts, to processing my grievance, to all I did was focus on the crystal that was there, and I focused on what it can do for me. And I said, and the second one of those thoughts came in, I said, nope, go to that crystal so it can be transmuted. Go to that crystal so it can be transmuted. It's like, because that's kind of how I work with my energies, because the pillars that I have, they're sending an energy up. So I imagine the plate that I have around me with the pillars going up. And so it's like, from my thoughts, whatever's coming in, nope, go there. And then that crystal is going to send it to the astral to be transmuted. I've learned this through Honey Golden, and it works. I just use my crystals to do it. So a lot of my emotion goes into my rose quartz one because it's copper coiled, but it helps me transmute that. Now, I'm not giving my energy away. I'm just saying, take this negative, low vibe energy, get it into the light of the great divine, heal it, work through the shadows, and then send it back to me when it's fixed. And in a way, I'm constantly receiving new awarenesses, new abilities, new energies. Like, that's kind of how I work through my shadow work, is I'm transmuting the negative energy to be a charged up one, kind of like your crystals. If you have a quartz crystal that's got a low charge vibe, that hasn't been in the sun, hasn't been in the soil, hasn't been sound bath, been stuck in a corner for 20 years, and you have one that's been charged in the sun fully, if you take those two crystals and smack them together, I'm not going to do that with these ones, but you smack them together, they'll actually arc. The fully charged crystal will discharge to the uncharged one. And there are some shamans that made these practices with it looks like a maraca, but they have charged and discharged crystals to create an energy spark. And it's creating current and circulation. And it illuminates and actually creates a visual light. So when I'm using my meditations, that's how I'm using my crystals, is that transference of energy. I prize my energy. My energy is sacred. So if I'm giving it, I'm going to make sure that I'm creating a pathway for it to come back. So it creates that torus field. I'm creating that in my healing work with my shadows. I'm creating my torus. And my torus is as big as this world, it seems. So it's like, as big as I want it to be is how big I need to make it. And it works. I just visualize how big that is. And I expand my mind. How big does that bound go? It goes forever. And it keeps getting bigger each time I see how big it goes. But once we get so out there, so big and so stretched, it's not as great. I like being right here, right now. So my meditations, I do a lot of it, a lot of breathing through it. And that's the other thing with your meditations, is to focus on cyclical breathing. So even when you're not doing your actual breathing exercise, you're just resting, like rest rate, you still need to be focusing on slow breathing through your nose and out through your mouth. So it's the cyclical, you're in your Zen space, and you're just gently breathing, but make sure it's cyclical through your nose and out through your mouth. Yeah. It's another one. Let's see. Any other tips for meditations? I like to do meditations when it's dark. I find that it's more distracting to have certain meditations in the daylight with lots of light. Now, if I'm looking for understanding or awareness or learning, I like doing those during the day, because the mandala helps me focus my thoughts onto what I'm trying to process or understand. But if I could do my meditations in the dark, it makes it a lot easier to do inner work and shadow work and healing and finding your peace and Zen. Doing it in the dark, I find, is really helpful to kind of silence the mind. And take the time to take care of yourself before you meditate. If you have a hard time meditating, take the time to groom yourself. Take a shower. You don't have to scrub and wash your hair or anything. Just put your hair up, let the water run on you for a minute, and say a blessing. allow the water to cleanse my energy. Whatever you want to say, just do something for you, get the energy flowing. So sometimes my meditations, I have to do a series of things before I can actually sit and meditate. It might be just I just need my cup of tea or my cup of coffee just to kind of like, oh, that tastes good. I'm going to enjoy this while it's hot, just to bring me present right now. And then I'll start my meditation. So, oh, frequency music, I always have that on. I forget it's on half the time. It's kind of like my background noise now in my house. I've been using frequency music for my husky who has very severe separation anxiety. And since I've got premium YouTube, I just have sound frequency going at a low volume. It's not very loud because he's got sensitive ears. But he has been so much more calm and patient and understanding. He's not worried about me. He's not like meditate after a walk in the woods. That's a good one because you're getting all that etheric energy of everything life around you. You're charging up your body with so many great negative ions, and it's allowing you to ground yourself and get like things out. Really, it clears your mind, it clears your lungs, so that when you do your breathing for your meditation, it's so much more cleansed and purified. Oh, it's amazing. So doing a walk beforehand is great. I've been doing morning walks with my dog lately every day because I'm sovereign, so I can. And I really like it. I like being able to have that routine to just get up first thing in the morning, because I have to take my dog out to go to the bathroom first thing. So I'm like, well, okay, well, let's just do a walk then. So I can get my body going. So I'm working more on myself too, while I'm adding more and more things to how I'm living in my life, my sovereignty. I'm just adding more and more to it. I'm already exhausting the energy. I'm just changing how I'm using it. So, it's like my Kaijin card. Get rid of it doesn't serve you. If it ain't serving you, get rid of it or change it, alter it, sell it, donate it, do whatever. Like, change it so that you can bring your abundance in your life, whatever that may be. Bring your abundance in. So anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. My googly-eyed Batman, it cracks me up. So still, I haven't taken them off. They've been out for months now, both of them. Roots of the tree. Oh, cool. Awesome. Go for a walk before you start. Yeah, and observe the trees. Observe how the trees are flowing. Not a single tree is ever the same, and they all grow based on their own vibrational frequency. So pay attention to how the trees are formed, because it really does help you inspire the creation of what you're creating with your tree. But think of a tree as a pillar of energy. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I don't do the tree hugging because, my hair gets stuck in it, and but I touch them. Like I'm like, I make sure there's a connection. I don't hug them, not fully, but I meditate with the trees a lot. Like Bill, I think that's why he laughs at me, because he knows my energy is raw and genuine. But yeah, the trees are amazing. Hug a tree if you like. I like to just touch them. I pet them. I talk to them. That's kind of how I like to do it. But we're going to bring this to a close. My live is coming on to exactly 3 hours. Perfect timing. It's funny how that works. But I love you guys so very much. Thanks for tuning in to my live. Once this one processes, I'll definitely post it. I'm working on making them better. But I think the concept is going to be Let's Talk Rocks Live just going to be the series. But I'll plan on doing them on Mondays, just Monday mornings. I'll get started. I haven't set a time yet because I'm still trying to get a feel. I'm adding new things to my routine so I can maintain my sanity and take care of myself, get out and move, because I'm not physically working like I used to. So I have to get moving more. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So we're at 3:30 now. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't think we have any meetings on Step Into Your Power today, so I think that's why I planned on cooking. I'm just going to create today. Making a stew, making guacamole, so I can do some tacos later. I'm so excited. So thank you all, and thank you for enjoying my amethyst pendant. Thanks for listening to my messages, and you all have a wonderful day. We're going to bring this to a close. We'll see you next time. And I will schedule it in advance when I start doing these. I'll make an announcement on Step Into Your Power, and then I'll make a post on my YouTube here. So you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy. Tracy, I can't wait to see what you create with the trees. We'll see you guys later. Tina, thanks for chatting with me again, too. And thank you for everyone else that joined in. Moonwalker, if you're watching this later, I love you, man. I really do hope you get well. And I did send you a pretty good healing bubble for you. So when you're ready to receive it in your dream world, it should help you alleviate some pain. So I was grabbing my healing one that I like to use, my Malachite, when I did it. And my Zelda. You got my Zelda one, too. So have a good day, guys. Love you. Bye.